All right, so this is the answer to question number 17, chapter 6, section 4. It says here, Ted is a long-distance driver. It took him 30 minutes longer to drive 275 kilometers on the Trans-Canada Highway west of Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Then it took him to drive 300 kilometers east of Swift Current. He averaged 10 kilometers an hour less while traveling west of Swift Current due to more severe snow conditions. What was Ted's average speed for each part of the trip? So the most challenging part of this problem has to do with this part here, is the formula that we start off with is distance is equal to rate times time. And in my video lesson earlier, we talked about setting up this triangle. Okay, and so the process here, let me just turn on my little spotlight here. The process here is basically we start off with distance, rate, and time. Now we know one distance is 275 and we know the other distance is 300. All right, one's traveling east, one's traveling west. I forget which one's which. Then I went to time. I think the shorter distance took half an hour longer, right? And I think, so half an hour longer, we convert that to 0.5 hours. The other one's just regular time, right? This one's half an hour longer, so it's whatever the amount of time is plus 0.5, and this is just the regular time. So based on what we know that rate, all right, the speed in which something travels is distance divided by time. So this is 275 divided by t plus 0.5. This one is distance of 300 divided by t, but this speed was slower. And it said in the problem was minus 10. So what we're interested in is this is the rate and this is the rate 10 kilometers slower. So what we do is we set up the rate. This rate is equal to this rate minus 10 kilometers. Okay, now we have two different denominators and we know this has a denominator 1, and in the previous lesson we know that we would find a common denominator. I'm not going to bother wasting your time. One of the strategies that I did was, and I kind of cheated, was you go into Desmos, and I'm going to do that right now. And you can actually type this in. So let's try that out. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to my original problem. Oops, going to go my 275 divided by t plus 0.5. So here we go, 275 divided by bracket. I can't use t, so it's going to be x plus 0.5. That all of this stuff equals the distance of 300 divided by t, and of course you can't use t, so it's got to be x, and then it's 10 kilometers slower. And one of the things you know is there's going to be two answers. This one, it looks like it's -2, -3, an x value of -3, and an x value of +5. Okay, an x value of -3 and +5. So that's going to be a t value of -3 and a t value of 5. This is called an extraneous root because you can't go back in time 3 hours. So the only answer is t equals 5. Now, are we done? The answer is no. You have to actually plug in t equals 5 into our problem. So our rate is 300 divided by t. So it's going to be 300 divided by 5 minus 10. And that's roughly 50 kilometers an hour. Okay, hopefully that makes sense.